Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Have you ever had events to go to but your brow days don't line up with the events? Well, I'm going to show you how to make your brows look on fleek when they are not actually done. So without further ado, let's get on with the video. Also, my camera is dying, so I have to do this quickly. Okay, so before we begin, I'm going to show you what my brows look like before they're on fleek. So without doing anything, let me show you what my brows look like. So they're pretty bad right now. For this little trick, you only need 3 things. The first thing you need is a concealer of your choice, and I will be using the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer in light medium, some sort of small flat brush, something like this, and it could also be like a straight edge, just anything that's going to help you make a defined brow. And the third thing that you need is your brow product of choice. I will be using the LA Girl Shady Slim Pencil. This is just really easy for me to use. It's also quite inexpensive. You use whatever brow product that you prefer. And without further ado, let me show you how to achieve the brows on fleek look when your brows are actually not on fleek. So the first thing that I like to do is go in with my brow pencil and just kind of define my brows and fill in those sparse areas. I usually don't do the tail ends, so I think I'm just not going to touch them. So I'm just going to define my brow the way I want. What I do is just gentle little strokes to make sure that too much product doesn't get laid on at once. I kind of stop about there, like the arch of my brow. Like I could fill in the tail of my brow. I usually just don't bother to do that. And then once I have made that line at the bottom and I filled in these little sparse areas, I just kind of go in at that front here and fill in that area just a little bit, and then go in with the spoolie end and just brush that out and distribute the product into my brows. So already you can see the difference. Like this one, just without doing anything else, this one just looks so much more defined and just bolder than this one. Just a few little areas. I naturally have very bold and dark brow hair, so it doesn't take much for me to fill them in. And I could have like trimmed off these like extra hairs, but I just wanted to show you what it would look like if I did no tweezing, no threading, no cutting, anything, just using these 3 products, what you can do to make your brows look like they're on fleek even when your brows are not done. Okay, so we are going to keep it simple. All right, so moving on to the next brow, I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. Okay, so as I'm working on this left brow, I kind of noticed that the hairlines on my right brow are actually a little bit lower. Like there's an extra line of hair there compared to the one on this one. That's just how my hair growth has been, because maybe the person I got my eyebrows done from, maybe like they took out an extra line of hair on one side. I did have that happen to me a month ago, so that's my guess. But I've changed my brow lady, so I'm really excited to be going to the lady that I'm going to now, because I think she does an amazing job. So let's see how she fixes my brows in the next few weeks. But okay, so I'm doing the same thing here. So now that I know that this brow is missing that extra hairline, what I'm just gonna do is add in a bit of extra product to the bottom here, and while I'm doing that, I'm like constantly just checking to see that it's at level with the other side. And doing just that, just filling them in with the brow pencil, does such a big difference. I mean, they already look a lot more tame, they already look bolder, they have a more defined shape, and now we're going to go in with the concealer. So let me show you what I do with that to help you get that really sharp, defined shape. On a side note, does my hair look like a mess? I curled it yesterday and then I put it up in a ponytail, put it up in a bun, and I slept in it, and I didn't do anything to it this morning, and now I feel like I look like a bit of a mess on screen right now. I can't really tell, but once I'm editing this, I'm gonna be like... Okay, so I just got a little more up close and personal. Sorry if I'm all up in your space, but I really want to show you what this looks like. And okay, so now I'm going in with that Tarte Shape Tape concealer in the color light medium. You pick whatever concealer works for you. It doesn't have to be this one. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start by making these little dashes along my brow. Sometimes I don't do the top, so I'll see what it looks like when I do just the bottom, and if I want to go back and do the top. But for now, I'm gonna stick with the bottom just because that's usually all it takes to make your brows look better. So I'm going in and I'm making these little dashes. The first one I make right underneath the starting of your brow. So right there, one kind of near the arch of your brow, so right there, and then one kind of right there. And sometimes I go in and I do a fourth one if I feel like I need more definition. So we're going to begin with that, and let's see where that goes. So I'm going to leave it at just 3 dashes for now. So now what we're going to do is we're going to use that flat brush, and we are going to connect those dots and be defining the brow as we're doing that. So now that we have those dashes down, I will be using this flat brush, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to start from the front here. I will be doing this, starting here, kind of using the product but distributing it at the same time. So I'm like allowing my brush to touch the dash, but also I am moving it at the same time and using the strokes to help create a more defined line for my brow. So just like that. I like to go really slow and like that. And then once I distribute it, I kind of pull the product down and blend it with the rest of the products that are already on my eyelid, which in this case what I did was I had put concealer on my eye and just a bit of bronzer. So just allowing the product to blend in downwards will make a more seamless look to the brow. You know when you freshly get your brows done and you have that like white area, that's exactly what we're going for. So I'm going to continue doing that with the rest of the dashes, and again I'm just using the product, picking it up at the same time but also moving it, and sometimes I will push it upwards, like as I'm doing right here. I am pushing it up against the hair to create more brow bone space, because right now the hair underneath my brow are taking up that space. So if I just push the product up against the hair, it kind of lays those extra brow hairs that I would get taken out if I were to go get them threaded. What I'm doing is I'm pushing the product up there and I'm laying the product down so that the hairs kind of just lay down and they get covered by the concealer. So yeah, just do that. And towards the end here, gotta make sure I'm following my tail. I make weird faces when I'm doing any sort of makeup, so that's what I look like right now. This is reality, guys. This is reality. I mean, I don't think I ever look pretty while I'm doing my makeup because I'm just making the weirdest faces. I'm all like, sometimes if it's not defined enough, I will go back with a second layer. To me right now, this looks perfectly fine. It looks quite blended in and it looks quite natural, which is a good way to go, because if you have a lot of hair there and then you add too much product, it's going to start looking a bit blotchy. It's just a really easy and simple trick to use when you don't have time to go get your brows done, or you just don't want to go get your brows done. We all have our lazy days, okay? I get you, girl. As I'm doing this, I'm also watching the other side and making sure that my brows are aligning. Blend down. I also don't go for a very light concealer shade. I try to stick with something that's quite close to my skin color, maybe just a tad bit lighter, because I think if I go for something that's too white, it'll give you like an ashy look, and I'm trying to just keep it looking as skin-like as possible. The thing with the Tarte Shape Tape though is that sometimes when you leave the concealer on for too long on the skin, it kind of dries in that little patch over there, so you do want to be making sure that you're not leaving it on there for like minutes. It just gets harder to blend, which is what happened on this little tail end right here, but no worries. Just a little extra work. Brow on fleek, guys. Look at those brows. It was 2 easy steps, but look how defined they look, and they literally look like I just got them done. What did I tell you? That's it. That's how easy it is. If you do want them to look even sharper, all you do is you just do the same thing, apply it around the edges here and blend that out, and also blend upward so it blends with the foundation on your forehead. And that is all. What you can also do if you want to add in a third step is use some sort of light colored eyeshadow, whether it's shimmery or matte, and add that on the brow bone area. Sometimes what I do is I use a matte eyeshadow and I'll put that on this brow bone area leading up to the edge of my brow. I could show you that on one of my brows and leave the other one as is, just so you can see what works better for you. Okay, so I'll do the light colored eyeshadow on the right brow and keep the left brow as is, so you can compare the two and see what works better for you. And I will be using this color right here on this edge, and this is the color Free Spirit from the Tartelette palette by Tarte Cosmetics. And I'm using this fluffy flat brush by Jouer Cosmetics. It's their eyeshadow CBRUSH, and I'm just going to tap off the excess. Just grab some eyeshadow, tap off the excess here, and I'm going to add it right there. I almost don't like doing this because I like to keep it skin looking with just the concealer. So it's very rare that I'll do this. Maybe if I'm going to a party or something and I want to add highlight under the brow bone or something like that, then I might do this. But for an everyday look, I just don't even bother. As few steps as I can get in my makeup routine, that is always the goal. Okay, so that's what it looks like. Again, not a huge difference, but the eyeshadow color that I did use, it does have a bit of like a light yellow tint to it, so it does give a bit of highlighting to the area. That is all, you guys. That's all it takes. So if you want to make your brows look like they're on fleek, but you haven't gotten your brows done in weeks, girl, I got you. All it takes is 2 steps using 3 products and you're good to go. So I hope you guys are all having a wonderful day. Thank you for watching this video, and if you like my content, please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, leave comments down below about what you think, and if you have any other videos that you'd like for me to create, let me know down below and I will do that. Yeah, I hope you guys all have wonderful brow days and may your brows stay on fleek. Okay, bye. You need, and then you need brow powder. Yeah. Wait, that's wrong. That's not the way. That is, I don't know where I was going with that. Give you a, oh, hair's getting in the way. Thank you for watching this video, and oh wait, actually, like for me to create, let me down 3 steps, oh, 2 steps using. So I wish you guys all days full of fleeks. So I wish you guys all